Hello, second grade bumblebees. We are on virtual learning this week, and I thought a great connection between our innovations unit would be to study the famous American Benjamin Franklin. So I'm going to read to you a story today called Now and Ben, The Modern Inventions of Benjamin Franklin. So he was an innovator too. So we're going to read this book to see what kind of innovations he came up with. So this story is written by Jenna Barrett. Girl, do you think he invented all of those things? Let's read to find out. Now and then we think about Dr. Benjamin Franklin to be precise, and we think about his many inventions. Inventions he originated more than 200 years ago. There's Ben, and then this is his family. So we've got Francis, who's his son, his daughter Sally, his son William, and his wife Deborah. It was as if Ben could see into the future. Almost everything he created is still around today. For instance, now our newspapers are filled with illustrations. Ben was the first to print a political cartoon in America. The cartoon encouraged the American colonies to join together or die like the disconnected snake. So he made this as a way to motivate people to fight in the Revolutionary War and the printing press. Imagine the printing press. Back then you had to put every single letter down and then press it. So you had to make sure you spelled perfectly before you even tried to print. Now, bifocals are very common. Bifocals combine two sets of lenses into one pair of glasses. The bottom helps see near and the top helps see far. And Mrs. Bass has those glasses. So on the bottom, I use those for reading, and on the top, I use those for distance. So thank goodness to Benjamin Franklin so I can see. Ben originally designed bifocals for himself after he grew tired of switching between two pairs of glasses. So if he wanted to read, he would put on one pair. If he wanted to see far away, he would put on another. So he wanted glasses that had them both together. Now, our world relies on electricity. In the 18th century, many people still believed that lightning was an act of anger and a punishment from God. Ben was one of the scientists who discovered the true nature of electricity and how it's used. He learned that lightning is electricity. When he attached a small metal wire to the top of a kite and gathered electricity from a storm cloud. That is famous kite and key. Now, many buildings and homes use lightning rods to protect against lightning strikes. So tall buildings have this rod at the top so that attracts the lightning and the building doesn't get struck. Ben invented the lightning rod and was the first to use it. The pointed iron rod acts like a magnet and grabs an approaching lightning bolt from the sky before it can strike the rooftop. The electricity then travels safely down a long wire into the ground. It prevents fires and keeps dangerous amounts of electricity away from the house. You should check at your house and see if you have electricity. Now, this gadget goes by many names, such as the grabber. Everyone has seen one. It's a long stick that grabs items from out-of-reach places. Ben invented the original device and called it the long arm because it worked like a really long arm. So he had that invention to get things that he needed from off the shelf. Now, swimmers and divers use flippers to move faster through the water. Ben invented things even when he was a boy. He was an avid swimmer and built wooden flippers for both his hands and his feet. Avid means that you're really good at it and you like to do it a lot. Now, ships travel across the Gulf Stream to take advantage of the faster current. Ben measured, charted, and publicized the Gulf Stream during his 8 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean. So he showed them that they could use the Gulf Stream's current to be able to travel. Now, we understand and accept the benefits of vitamin C. Ben was an early promoter of eating citrus fruits to help prevent a disease called scurvy. Things he created got better over time, but you can see how he had the first thoughts in these inventions. Now for a musical interlude. Ben invented the glass harmonica. He was able to create music by simply touching his wet fingers to a row of spinning glass balls. Mozart and Beethoven were moved by the sounds that they composed for the instrument. Today, glass harmonicas are very rare. You are more likely to find one in a museum than a music store. Isn't it cool how they got it to work? Now, our fireplaces are very efficient and easy to use. Ben improved on the primitive fireplaces of his day when he designed the Pennsylvania fireplace, later renamed the Franklin stove. He built it with iron to contain the heat from a fire long after logs were burned out. It also sat away from the wall to heat the room more evenly. The smoke ventilation was not perfect, but later inventors improved it. Before Ben's fireplace, indoor smoke could be suffocating. So during this time, they didn't have heating and air in their house, so people would start a fire in their house for heat. So he kind of created the first idea of a chimney with his fireplace. So you can see how it gets the smoke out of the house. And can you imagine, before, this is made of iron, so it contains the heat. Some people didn't use that. And so you can imagine that when their fires got too strong in the night, what do you think happened to their houses? Now, chairs come in all shapes and sizes. Ben designs 2 chairs that are still very useful. The writing chair combined a desk and a chair into one. You see those at school. The library chair was a combination of a chair and a stepladder. Look how cool that chair is. So when he wanted to get something off the shelf, he could turn his chair into a ladder. And then there is your beginning of a desk for school where you could write. Now, everyone has seen a rocking chair, but not many have seen Dr. Franklin's rocking chairs. Ben invented one rocking chair with a fan on top and one that churned butter. So during this time, they had to make their own butter and they had to use cream to do it. So this machine would go like this to help make the butter. And so by rocking it back and forth, your body did all the work instead of having to get your hands tired. He's pretty smart. Now, every year we observe daylight savings time, which means we set our clocks ahead 1 hour in the springtime. As a result, it stays darker longer in the morning when most people are sleeping and stays light longer at the end of the day so we can save more energy. In fall, we return our clocks to standard time. Ben suggested this idea in one of his essays as a way to save more money by burning fewer candles, because during this time, your house was lit by candles. Farmers could also gain more work time in the evening. Daylight savings time was not officially practiced until World War II, more than 100 years later. As for clocks, Ben designed the first clock with a second hand. Seconds to pass, and now you know why we have daylight savings on electricity, and that farmers could get more working hours. every automobile has an odometer to measure the distance it travels. Ben invented the odometer when he was a postmaster general, as he could measure his postal routes. So he used to deliver mail, and this odometer tells how many miles he has gone. So you can set it now for your trip if you want to see how far you travel on a trip, or it can tell you how far your car has traveled in all. Now, almost every large community includes a library, a hospital, a post office, a fire department, and a sanitation department, which does trash. Ben lived in a city that had none of these establishments, so he helped organize each one of them. Isn't that cool? Thank you, Ben. Will his contributions help to form the future? So there we talked about all of Benjamin Franklin's contributions. Now I'm going to show you what you're at. I hope you enjoyed the book and enjoyed hearing about all of the things that Ben helped create or start that we perfected over time. So Benjamin Franklin was very helpful in the many inventions that he created. He proved that lightning is electricity in his kite experiment. He started the first library. He started the first volunteer fire department, and he helped Miss Bass be able to see. You got this lovely little kite here with Benjamin Franklin on top. So you're going to write here, Franklin was born in. Okay? I'm giving you the answer. He was born in 1706. He started the first what? He proved that blank existed through his kite experiment. And Ben created the first volunteer blank department. You're going to try to fill in those blanks. Then, this is where you get to get creative. You're going to write the most interesting fact about Benjamin Franklin. Which innovation did you think was the most fab? And then you're going to talk about the most important contribution. So which one do you think was the most important to our society today? And what I still wonder about Mr. Franklin. So are there any questions that you're still thinking about? I'm wondering how he created the bifocals. So you're going to fill out these. And then Mrs. Bass gave you a gray piece of string. So you're going to cut out the little bows for the kite. You're going to cut out your little kite. You're going to put the string here with glue, and it's going to hang down. And you're going to put your 3 bows below it. And it's going to look so awesome. Feel free to decorate your kite and enjoy making this, and watch the video about Benjamin Franklin to learn even more information.